Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. On this episode, I want to go over our 3-month review of the Bixpy Motor. So even though I had the Hobie PA14 with the pedal drive, and you can cover a lot of distance with the Hobie comfortably and pretty much make it through the day without too many body aches. But the advantages of having a motor is if you're fishing multiple days, for a tournament or just for fun, the motor helps you get to point A to point B, no matter what brand it is, a lot faster and a lot easier on your body, and prolongs your day on the water. So that's why we end up getting a motor. Plus if you paddle kayak, it can get you definitely there a lot faster, and you have your paddle as a backup to get back if you ever have a problem with your motor, which at one point every motor is going to have a problem. Your battery is going to die. So as you see here, I have it in speed 2 on the Bixpy, and I'm just trolling along this bank here and working a lipless as I go along the bank here. And you can see I'm traveling about 1.81 miles per hour. I don't have any feet on the fins, and I'm just covering water, and it just helps me get down the bank here and just cover a ton more water, without using my body. And it helps me save my body for when I need to go from point A to point B a lot faster, where I can kick in with the fins too as well. So for the 3 months I've had the motor so far, I've had no problems with it whatsoever. Bird's pretty loud. I do have a couple videos of the initial install of the motor, and also our first time on the water with it, and on the water testing of it and the speed. Now on average, if I go full speed without using any fins at all to help me get from point A to point B, I average about 3.9 miles per hour, which is pretty decent. It's not the fastest motor in the world. It ain't gonna win you races, but it is gonna help you get there faster, and also not abuse your body as much, so you can fish multiple days no problem. You can see I have my remote velcroed to my chair here, so you got your reverse, forward, and stop. I've had the motor in fresh and salt water, and be honest with you, even when I had it in salt water, I never rinsed it off when I took it back. I should have, but I didn't, and I came right back out the next day and used it in fresh, so I figured it would get a little bit rinsed there, and I've had, it didn't cause any issues not rinsing it off at the end of the day. I probably used it about 20 times so far in the last 3 months, and most of the time I push it all day, and I still haven't had the battery die on me yet. Now, yes, when I get to my, to my area where I'm going to fish, I pull the motor up and I just use my fins on the kayak. But when I move to the next spot, I drop the motor back down and I move on, or I use it as a trolling motor and work the banks. And the lowest I've had the battery drop on me is down to 3 cells. You have 6 cells on the battery, and the lowest I've gotten it to date is only down to 3. Now, can you kill this battery? Absolutely. If you run this at full speed with my weight and this kayak, they say you can last about 80 minutes. I haven't done that yet. I haven't done a full testing on it and run it till it's been dead. I may do that for the 6-month review. Gotta get out of the way, boat's coming. You can see running full speed. Hopefully you can see without the glare. I'm running 3.82 right now, going against the wind, going against the current. And that's without me using my fins. Now, if I use my fins, and I just moderately go like this, without killing myself, you can see how fast it gets up to 4.33 or 4.50. Sorry, the thing keeps going in and out. And if you really push this, I'm going against the wind right now. And let's say if I'm doing a really heavy pedal, I'm getting up to about 4.95. Now if I turn around and go with the current, with the wind, I'll definitely get this over 5. I've had this up to, I think, 6 when I was going with a nice strong current and moderately pedaling. So you can get a lot of water covered using just this motor, this little motor from Bixpy with the little battery, and it's lightweight. That's another good thing about this motor is that it's lightweight. It doesn't weigh the kayak down. The battery and the motor, I think together, maybe under 20 pounds, so it's very light. Plus, you got your other, your other attachments you got to put on the kayak, so maybe 25, pounds, if that, you know, with everything on it. So it doesn't weigh the kayak back down. I don't get any, like, you know, the back of the kayak being set far in the water, and I've had no problems with it, you know, in these past 3 months. I definitely will do, before the 6-month review, I am going to run this at full speed and show you how long this has lasted, you know, how long I can get out of the battery for the day. I will do a full speed test and time it and show you guys a timer. In the past 3 months, like I said, I've had no problems with it. I've been loving it. I use it every time I come out, and I have fished 3 days in a row utilizing this motor, charging the battery at night, and I tell you, what a world of difference it's made on my body fishing 3 days in a row. It was definitely worth the investment. You know, later on in life, I know that Bixpy's coming out with a larger battery, a larger capacity for the battery. So we'll see what that does when that comes out. That's what I heard through the grapevine. I hope it comes true. And maybe we can get double the run time at full speed. If that's the case, that would be great by me. Maybe then I will never change the motor. But, you know, like I said, you know, my initial review of this motor, you know, down the line, when I hit over that 50-year mark, I may go with a stronger motor. But if they keep improving, you know, their setup, I see no reason not to keep buying Bixpy or, you know, getting a larger capacity battery from them. So I just wanted to cover the 3 months with you that I've had this, and to let you know that wasn't a regrettable purchase. It was definitely worth the money. I'm happy with it, and I will link in the video at the end here my initial install on the kayak and my first on the water test with it. You know, if I had to go back and say spend double the money on Torpedo or Motor Guide i3, I would still initially buy the Bixpy because it's my first motor I've ever had on the kayak. You know, I don't want to go to that full, true $3,000 investment or more. And I wanted to see if it was even worth for me to have a motor. And yes, it has been worth for me to have a motor. I will definitely say that. But I'm happy with the Bixpy. If I had to go back and redo it, I probably would use the same or buy the same motor without hesitation. You know, it's like I said, it's a good first time motor investment, and with them coming out with improvements and probably a larger capacity battery, I'm sure they'll change the design on the motor. I'm sure they're going to keep improving to keep, you know, competing with the market that's out there now, and still keep it at a reasonable or affordable price for most of us to purchase. You can see, even at the end of the day of a 7-hour day fishing, and I wasn't trying to preserve the battery. I used it when I wanted it and when I needed it. And you can see that I still have 4 bars left out of 6 on this battery. So it's definitely well worth the purchase. It gets me where I want to get and does what I want to do. So I've done no maintenance to it whatsoever. I have sprayed a little bit of WD-40 back here one time. But that's been it. It's been a great motor for 3 months to date. So that's about it, guys. You know, if you're on the fence about buying a Bixpy motor, I wouldn't. I would definitely buy one. You know, it's definitely worth the money. And if you have any questions and you don't want to, you know, leave a comment on the video and you want to be a little bit more private about it or whatever, just hit me up. My email's on the description of all my videos from this point on at rjmfishtales@icloud.com. You can hit me up with the email. You know, we can actually talk on the phone if you want. And if you need any help with the install or have any questions about the motor, do not hesitate to reach out to me. You know, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and all that. You can DM me on there if you want, if you don't want to do the email. I appreciate all the support from you. As always, be safe, protect yourself from the sun, and I'll catch you guys on the water. Thanks for watching.